Okay, let's kick it off on a Friday here with Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. We're live at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. And Barry, here it is, early February. We're getting into that Valentine's mode. Boy, with a big red heart on the hood of a Ford SUV car or an F-150 look great in your Valentine's driveway.
Yeah, they'll put the heart on themselves.
Yeah, they will.
You haven't even got to worry about it. You haven't got to worry about buyer's remorse. You haven't got to stay up late. Well, staying up late that night if you give your Valentine a Stivers vehicle.
Yeah, really.
Probably a given.
No kidding.
But over the next couple of days afterwards, to just lie there in the middle of the night thinking, golly, did I get the best deal? You ain't got to worry about it, because you'll get the best deal at Stivers Ford Lincoln here in Montgomery. We're in the showroom with our girl Kelly over there.
Oh, sure.
She's always an early riser and bright-eyed. And where the sun comes rising over this full lot of Ford vehicles. And I'm telling you, it's a beautiful sight.
Well, it is. You know, Barry, you're right about that. On beautiful, clear, sunny days, you can see the sun. As you can see behind my shoulder, the sun is certainly beaming bright today, and so are the deals here at Stivers in Montgomery. We tell you about the F-150s, Barry. Nobody's going to beat them. It's the America's best-selling truck for 50 years. Check that out. For 50 years, all these other people that are producing trucks can't match the F-150 because of durability, because of style, because of all the features that truck buyers want today. But bottom line, it's the pricing, and there's so large of an inventory here at Stivers. They've got the truck you want right here, right now. And so, of course, large inventory, bottom line prices, incredible sales staff to help you out with the buying process. So come by and see all the lineup of F-150s, F-250s, if you need something even bigger, the 350s, and of course the Expeditions, the Explorers, the Broncos, the Escapes, just so many great models here. And we've been telling you about it. There's a little construction going on here at Stivers, but the beauty of it is it's not really affecting the Ford lot here where you're used to.
There just a little bit.
Yeah, it's down, if you're facing the lot, it's to the left. There's a lot of exciting things coming. I'm not sure we can, let them out of the bag just yet. But you certainly can see the construction going on. So there's a lot going on, a lot of excitement, a lot of progress. And of course, they're here to sell you the vehicle that you want at the absolute lowest prices, and nobody's going to beat them. Of course, the Start the Year Saving Sales event is still ongoing, and you're going to save a lot here at Stivers in Montgomery.
Well, sports-wise, gosh, what can we talk about? Plenty of basketball.
The Daily Dog? No, more on that later.
Chomping at the bit here for a reason. Basketball tomorrow. Maybe we start with that. Auburn and Alabama in the Iron Bowl on the hardwood at 3 o'clock.
Are you surprised that hasn't really stuck like I thought it was?
Along with Iron Bowl on the diamond.
Yeah.
And, Iron Bowl.
I tell you who's used it before. Our friend Jeff Shearer, who's used to be at WSFA in Montgomery's now at Auburn. He has actually used the Iron Bowl on hardwood. And I texted him. I said, way to go, Jeff. Good one. Love it.
Hasn't taken, though. And I think the main reason why is the Iron Bowl is the Iron Bowl. The Iron Bowl's a football game.
Yeah.
And it kind of derives, hey, this is like the football game only for basketball. Forget football.
Yeah.
Football doesn't enter into it. This is a basketball game tomorrow. It's interesting because two things jump out at me.
Okay.
Number one, it has been bumped up to ESPN2. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Here's the deal.
Okay.
For those of you watching that game, great.
Okay.
Awesome. ESPN2. Don't know who the announcers are.
Yep.
And
Jimmy Dykes. I like Jimmy Dykes.
For those of you who are geeked up as I am about the Troy Trojans playing tomorrow on ESPN2.
Oh, wow.
Against Akron. And Akron is the creme de la creme along with Miami of Ohio out of the MAC.
You mentioned that yesterday.
Akron's 19-4. They're 10-1 in the league in the MAC, and they're in second place. The MAC is so top-heavy because Miami of Ohio is 23-0, and they're like 11-0 in the MAC.
Do they have a G League player?
They do not.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask you.
Here's the deal. Big game tomorrow. For those of you, oh boy, I can't wait to see the opening. And it's on ESPN2.
Yep.
So you got Auburn, Alabama at 3. And you've got Troy and Akron at 5. You might want to listen to yours truly on the radio broadcast of that to catch the opening tip. You know my feelings on that, and goodness knows I love the Trojans, and this is not a Troy difficulty, but why in the world they schedule a game at 3 and then a game at 5 on the same network? I'm just saying our listenership is going to be pretty good.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Barry, the Troy-Akron game, the opening tip will be seen on ESPN News or ESPN Deportes. If you don't have a radio, which I don't in my house, so I got to go out to my car to listen, which I will. But you're right. There's no way that game starts on TV at 5 o'clock. Not going to happen. Well, particularly if the Alabama games, they're fouling late, all that kind of crap that drives me crazy. Yeah, come on. Not going to happen.
The deal. ESPN2, the Deuce, is going to be loaded tomorrow. Here's the deal. At 11 o'clock in the morning on ESPN2, you've got Arkansas at Mississippi State. At 1 o'clock on ESPN2, you've got Ole Miss at Texas. Ain't no way you're seeing the starting tip of that one.
Nah.
Bear in mind, Ole Miss and Texas at 1 o'clock, Alabama and Auburn at 3 o'clock. You ain't going to see the opening tip from Neville Arena. They're going to be, you're watching live now from sold-out Neville Arena. The Iron Bowl on the hardwood, where with 15:42 to go in the first half, Auburn leads it, something like that, right?
Yeah.
If you
15:42, I love it.
If you get to the Auburn Alabama basketball game tomorrow with more than 17 minutes remaining in the first half, count yourself lucky.
Sure.
Because there ain't no way that starts on time, and then it goes into Troy and Akron
at
5 o'clock.
No
Troy
way.
Sports Radio Network. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I don't know why they do it. I guess they can. They're ESPN. They can do what they want to, I guess. But it does make it inconvenient for the viewer when they're kind of overlapping game after game after game. There again, if you have to watch it, you better make sure you know where ESPN News and ESPN Deportes and all those stations are that they feed it into until they can get back. Now, quickly before, is this a Sunbelt MAC deal going on this weekend?
Yeah, the Hope for Everybody.
Okay.
It's the Sunbelt MAC Challenge, which, you're in the teeth of the conference race and everything, and Troy's in first place right now, got a big win on the road. We go on the road next week. I'm going to be on location most of next week. You got like Eastern Michigan versus Appalachian State. You got a lot of schools that may not, are they in the MAC? Yeah, UMass is in the MAC against Coastal Carolina, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's going on all day tomorrow.
I just want you mentioned that yesterday that Troy was playing Akron. I'm thinking Akron, and of course my first thought was, is Akron in the Sun Belt? I don't think they are.
They are not.
And then you mentioned it again today. I thought this has got to be some kind of MAC Sun Belt deal. So yeah, that's pretty good. I kind of like that. I kind of like that they kind of give you a little something different in the middle of the conference schedule. I wish they did that with the SEC. ACC thing that they do now. They used to do it with the Big 12.
That's early.
Yeah, I'd rather have it this time of year.
Well, like Bob from Pike Road said, here you go, Preston, the Daily Bob from Pike. John and Barry, the ESPN app is your friend.
Huh.
Bob's playing chess. The rest of us playing checkers here. We can talk about the Super Bowl. That is coming up on Sunday.
Yep.
Matter of fact, in a little bit, Lee Sterling will check in. We'll talk with him about the big game, the Super Bowl matchup, Seahawks and Patriots, Sunday at 5:30. What about Seahawks? About a 5-point favorite.
About that, yep.
Something
4.5, 5 points.
But I was surprised about this.
Okay.
I checked in to the TighterInsider.com.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Fully expecting to see some Greg Sankey bashing.
Okay.
And there was some.
All right.
Earlier in the day, gutless Greg. I'm not sure, quite honestly, if they're talking about Sankey or about Burns. But no. They are talking about a big basketball win yesterday. Christy Curry and the Alabama women's basketball team beat like number 13 Ole Miss by a point, and they're all, well, not all, a lot of them are like, man, big win. Christy Curry's had 5 straight 20-win seasons. Everybody says, really? Has she?
Really? Has she?
She has. This is a 20-win season for her.
Good for her.
All you guys were down on her, and then you got the obligatory one old fogey who says, I say we get rid of gals basketball and softball and give all that money to men's basketball and football.
Might
and
be
you
right.
can throw baseball in there too.
Yeah.
And everybody's getting on him and saying,
so you saw my post, huh?
that was now believe me, they ain't happy with Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner. Today's a big day for Charles Bediako. Even Auburn basketball coach Stephen Pearl says, I kind of feel for the guy.
See?
If they play him and, turns out he's ineligible, what does he do? And what does Alabama do if they got to forfeit games? I kind of wish he'd go ahead and play. That's Stephen Pearl.
Yeah, I'm sure Stephen Pearl is tossing and turning in his bed at night going, dadgummit, I feel sorry for that Bediako kid. What's he going to do if they rule against him?
See, right, he is smart. That's a smart move because he's taking the high road. 3 things about it. Number 1, he's saying, I think that the young man is going through it right now, and I sort of feel for him. Number 2, obviously he ain't real scared of the monolithic presence that is Charles Bediako on the floor.
Yeah, neither was the Florida coach, and you saw how that turned out.
Number 3, afterwards, he can say, hey, look, I was behind the scenes. Maybe he's saying, like the little white angel on one shoulder is going, come on, go ahead.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, say, come on, let's knock it out. Let's have them forfeit games and all that.
If I was Stephen Pearl, I'd be more concerned about his ace shooter, Tahad Pettiford, getting hot tomorrow. He's been a little cold lately.
Well, they're not concerned about Bediako. It's just, care for the
brotherhood. Sure. In-state brotherhood there.
Here's the deal.
You think they're going to be thinking that when that student section's going, G League reject? Yeah. You think Spurl's going to go over and go, no, don't do that. Come on.
I also think this. Earlier in the text thread.
G League reject. That's a good one.
When you go to TigerInsider.com, God bless Rodney Orr, because, you read it and it's current and all that, and then you scroll down to page number 5.
Yeah.
Page number 5 is like 20 minutes ago.
I'm
thinking, man, what if you want to go earlier in the afternoon? That's like 100 pages. You've got some old boys on there that's all they do all day, and that's when they're saying Greg Sankey has one job. And that's to protect the member institutions, his constituents in the SEC, no matter what. Well, not necessarily if he doesn't believe in what they're doing, and he doesn't. He issued a brief.
Okay.
Let me try this. Turn my microphone on.
Okay.
He issued a brief that said, I respectfully ask the court to uphold the NCAA eligibility rules challenged in this case, the Bediako case.
Is this when the guy leans over and goes, okay, shut him up. We've heard enough.
Which are essential to the integrity of college sports, to the educational mission they serve, and to the opportunities they provide for current and future student athletes. It's a 4-page affidavit from the commissioner of the SEC, and it is saying in great detail, I don't agree with what Alabama's doing here, and they do not have my support.
Well, if you read a piece at yellowhammernews.com earlier this week.
Well written, spelled impeccably.
Thank you. You would see my angle on it. And I said and I mentioned it in the article. Personally, this isn't really my cup of tea. I would rather not have seen it, but this is an NCAA issue. And the NCAA's got to get their court in order, so to speak. And yeah, okay, maybe they've manipulated their way around to find an opening to get this done. But as I mentioned, you let this thing go Bediako's way, the floodgates are going to open up. Maybe that's what Greg Sankey's trying to avoid.
Right.
He knows that too.
No
that if this judge rules in Bediako's favor, whoa, watch out. So there again, until the NCAA gets their house in order, and there again, personally, I don't really love it. But yeah, all these do-gooders out there, oh, man, I don't know about this, blah, blah, blah. And maybe that's what Stephen Pearl's saying. I kind of feel for this kid. What's going to happen to him? Boom. Here comes Sharif Cooper back, suiting up for the Albs. I mean,
hey, if it's, that's what Greg Sankey is against.
Sure he is.
And again, I love it. All of these do-gooders, all of these, goody two-shoes, all of these,
Come on.
It's like John's testifying way back in the day to the Interfraternity Council. Look, those guys over there, they're nerds.
Yeah.
What do they do? I mean, let them go and have bake sales and wash cars and stuff. I don't know. But there's more to it. We're going to stay on schedule because in a little bit, we've got Lee Sterling from Paramount.
Well, I got some bad news, Barry. And
for Policeman Preston.
Yeah. Josh can't be with us today. He's got another meeting.
Yeah.
Guy's busy, but he did give me a Super Bowl pick. But Theotis, I just want to let you know early. So no Josh Harris today.
We do have a lot to get to. Evidently, we're going to be nudging me along and getting to the Phantom's Daily Dog a little bit later on. Evidently, that's a thing today, big time.
I know we kind of give a show preview. I just want everybody to know that will be coming up along with my Super Bowl pick. And it is true. Barry saw me today. I'm scrolling through the scores at ESPN.com, and I'm scrolling down the NBA, and I went, there you go.
How about you? Hey, I knew it.
Nice.
I knew it. Stay with us. We're at Stivers Ford Lincoln, Eastern Boulevard of the Troy Highway. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown." Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Love is in the air, and so is your chance to win during Victoryland Casino's BMW and $25K giveaway. Drive away in a brand new BMW or win your share of $25,000 in free play. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Stop by the Players Club and fall in love with this month's exciting free play promotions. There's more ways to win at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino is located off I-85, exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings February 27th and 28th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Okay, we're back here live at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. The beginning of the year savings sales event is still ongoing here, 6th day of February. So let's ring in 2026 on a good note here at Stivers Ford in Montgomery. You'll come by, you'll see what we're talking about, because the inventory is incredible. But here's another big aspect, Barry. You can go to Stivers online and you can browse their entire inventory. And we have people that a lot of people do that. And I think I've shared this story, but I haven't shared it with all of my friends here at Stivers. A good friend of mine, you know him, banker in town, Gene Crane.
Great guy.
With Riverbank. He is
Love that guy.
downtown a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, and noticed what he thinks are some tourists in downtown Montgomery. Strikes up a conversation with them and just says, hey, what brings you to Montgomery? Why are you here? Blah, 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 blah. And the lady says, I'm buying a car. And she said, really? She said, yeah, I bought a truck that I've been really looking for from Stivers Ford, and I'm driving it back home.
Perhaps you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Stivers Ford. Everybody here knows about Stivers Ford.
The lady, Barry, was from Arizona.
Wait a minute.
She flew to Montgomery, drove the car back because she got such a great deal, and it was the exact one that she wanted, and that's what she did. And you can do that too. And of course, we're broadcasting worldwide, so you can check out the Stivers inventory at stiversonline.com. Check it out. You can purchase your vehicle right there if that's convenient for you.
Maybe she was one of those that the Steve Miller Band was talking about. Maybe she's from northern Arizona where the girls are warm.
Yep.
Or maybe she was standing on a corner in Winslow,
Could have
Arizona.
been.
Such a fine sight to see.
That's right.
Anyway.
Or didn't George Strait say something about beachfront property?
Oceanfront property in
Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I imagine, Gene Crane gets around a pretty good bit. He bebops around here and there, highly visible in the community.
Yep.
But I bet that happens.
No doubt.
I bet you can bump into a lot of people like that. Maybe not all from Arizona, but John, if you look at it just purely from a dollars and cents, if you're saving thousands here, it's worth a little gas money to drive down or fly down and save here in Montgomery, Alabama at this jewel of a dealership we have here, as opposed to paying thousands more in DeKalb, Illinois.
That's right. Well, Barry, you're right about that. And we see people coming into the dealership showroom while we're broadcasting the show live, and we wonder, wow, wonder what they're doing here. They're coming in town as well. So a lot of people take advantage of that. Incredible deals, great inventory here at Stivers in Montgomery, and you need to take advantage of it as well.
Now,
all right.
Back again to Greg Sankey and his stance.
Let's do it.
Anti-Alabama, anti-Charles Bediako stance. And I agree that the NCAA needs to get their house in order, and they kind of made their own bed with this by being wishy-washy with some earlier stuff. But in the affidavit, Greg Sankey says, granting Bediako eligibility, quote, may open the door to undermining fundamental principles of college athletics and may even lead to former professional athletes returning to college, creating, in his words, a competitive disadvantage and fundamental unfairness to college athletes, while also eliminating spots meant for high school players. Now, he's right about that. Again, the NCAA is kind of, lying in the bed that they have made.
Yep.
But sooner or later, somebody has got to spread their feet shoulder width, put their hands on their hips and say, that's enough. This guy from UCLA who played in the NBA and is committed to BYU. That's wrong. That's not what college athletics is all about. We do need to stop it somewhere. I do think that there are several people out there who are gung-ho about this for only one reason, and that it's at the University of Alabama. If this was happening at Tennessee, or this was happening at Georgia, or this was happening at Auburn, they'd be dead set against it and providing legal basis as to why it's, the coming of the Antichrist. But there are still some good points about it. It's just you cannot do this and still maintain any sort of competitive balance or any shred of the college experience.
Yeah, let me let's go back to what you said earlier. If this was happening at is it Baptist Wesleyan or what's that school I used to like to mention all the time?
Abilene Christian.
Abilene Christian or East Texas A&M, which I didn't even know was a school, or let's just say it happened in a Sun Belt school.
Okay.
Let's just say
Georgia Southern.
So Georgia Southern did this. Would it be a big deal? Would it be on the top of every basketball analyst brain, and that's all they're talking about if it had happened there? Or is it just it's in a Power 4 school, it's in the SEC, so we're going to talk a lot about it? And there again, I get he actually went to college, and then he went to play professionally, signed an NBA contract.
He willingly gave up his collegiate eligibility, knowing the rules at the time would prevent him from playing in NCAA basketball ever again if he signed this contract. And he looked at that contract up and down, and he signed that baby. Knew it.
Yeah.
That was going to be the end of it. But, the lawyers say, hey, man, let's just test it out there.
Yeah.
If I was Nate Oates, I would have let Georgia Southern or Abilene Christian be the first one there, because he's taking a beating in the court of public opinion. And I don't get what they're saying or anything. Bediako doesn't appear to me to be a real difference maker. To be perfectly honest, I don't think he's worth it.
Well, I wonder that too, Barry. You're going to all this trouble. I've thought about that too, particularly since we've seen him play in 4 games now, I guess it is.
Yeah, 2-2 in 4 games.
I mean, it's not like we've been overwhelmed and blown away by this guy. So I'm a little, suspect about that as well. Was it really worth it? What about the team dynamic? Has it affected that in any amount?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and as I said earlier, I mean, personally, I don't really like it. I mean, I see the deal here. I see what the NCAA insufficiencies. And there again, if the judge rules against Bediako, yeah, you think the floodgates are really going to open then. Why did they take this chance? Why did they smear their name and their legacy and blah, 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 blah? You're going to hear all that type stuff. But if it's ruled in favor of Bediako, watch out. Because I think there's schools and coaches out there all over the country just waiting to hear what's going to happen.
And it's going to change
and
everything.
Probably have something in their back pocket to get somebody on their team by tomorrow.
Yep. Which is legal now, which you can do. So, it will just change everything.
Yep.
And, there's a lot of people. Paul Feinbaum told us on Monday that there's some heavy hitters at Alabama who don't like this even a little bit. Why in the world are we doing this? Why are we the ones that are taking this chance? Yeah. Also,
you couple that, Barry, into what the football program's going through, and their last game they were embarrassed, and they've had a lot of big losses, and people are still lukewarm on DeBoer, if they're even that. So Greg Byrne has got a lot on his plate.
He does.
His biggest money producer, football. People are a little uneasy about what's going on there. Yeah, and then you got players leaving to go to other programs, and then you got Nate Oates bringing in a guy. You're thinking, is he really worth it? Are we going to go to all this trouble? Are things that bad? You got to bring this guy in. A lot of that kind of talk. So Sure, Greg Byrne's got a lot on his plate, a lot to answer to. And if this does fizzle out and end up making them look even worse, yeah, the donators are going to be going, wait a minute, what are we doing here?
Well, this is mostly theoretical. We don't know what's going to, even if anything's going to happen today. They're postponing it. It's a theoretical thing. Here's another theoretical question.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I want your knee-jerk reaction to this. If this is a thing, if this is true, if this is legitimate, why it's happening.
What's the difference between theoretical and hypothetical? Because I know Nick Saban did not like hypothetical questions.
In theory, or in theory meaning, do you support the theory of this as to hypothetically, say this happened?
Okay. All right.
How does this strike you? Is this even a thing? I'm scared to even bring this up to you.
Let me hear it.
Tobias says, hey, Phantom, how come you get crickets when you cover, but everyone comes out of the woodwork when you don't cover?
Well,
is that a thing, number one? I mean, do you acknowledge that you have seen that particular phenomenon take place?
Yeah. Tobias, you're a smart man. And it started many, many, many years ago when a couple of smart alecks out there would say, Phantom, I could do that. So, okay, we gave you the opportunity to do it.
The fabled, couldn't. I beat the Phantom contest.
Yeah.
My son, Jack, who is married, father of 2, and gainfully employed, he has a toolbox downstairs in his garage. And I'd check that every once in a while. He goes down and shows me some of his project. That toolbox still has the "I beat the Phantom."
I mean, if you've got one of those stickers, you're in a rare fraternity.
Ooh,
Not many people got an "I beat the Phantom."
He actually didn't, but his old man, got a hold of a bumper
So you're
sticker.
right, Tobias. I mean, the love is not there as much as the criticism is, and you probably picked up on that. You go to the River Region Straw text line, 4:58 a.m. How'd the Phantom do? All knowing that the Phantom might have taken it on the chin the night before.
A late loss, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well,
so maybe I should have tipped my hand earlier today, but no, man, we'll do that a little bit later on in the program.
but it is a thing. I mean, you can confirm.
Oh, no
that
doubt.
has
People,
happened.
and I get it. It's kind of like Tider and Cider. Ha! Did you see those Albs last night? They choked that one away. You don't see. Wow, that was an impressive win by the Albs last night. Man, I'm telling you what, that team's pretty good.
Back to this thing here. Again, Lee Sterling in just a
Yep.
bit. Bediako and his representatives, again, I think this is all lawyer driven. Hey, I know you did it. But let's just float this out there. You'd like to put on the old Crimson Tide jersey again, wouldn't you? Oh, yes, sir. Bediako and his representatives argued that the NCAA granting eligibility waivers to those players who signed European pro basketball contracts is no different than signing an NBA or a G League deal, which he's done both.
Yep.
The association, small a, this is not the NBA,
Yep.
the NCAA, their waiver process and decisions have been described even by Sankey himself as inconsistent and frustrating. So, yeah, the NCAA bears some responsibility in this. However, and I'm quoting here from Yahoo Sports, the NCAA sternly stands by its decisions, in particular those related to pro basketball. A player who begins in college cannot leave, plays pro sports, and return. That's the difference between that guy and Jonathan Noddy at Baylor, or even Philip Jovich at Auburn, who didn't play for much, not that that matters, and then, went to college.
Well, that's
Bediako knew when he forewent his final years of eligibility, he knew that once he signed that contract, he was giving up his rights to ever play in a collegiate basketball again, and he still signed it.
Yeah,
That's where the NCAA says, look, those are rules that we have, and you did not abide by those rules, and you knowingly didn't abide by those rules. You knowingly knew you were ineligible, and now you want to come back later with a bunch of lawyers and say,
Barry, I'm remembering my
wanna be
business
eligible
law
again.
class. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Same case with ignorance of NCAA rules is no excuse. Now, I don't know if Bediako knew the rules or not, probably didn't. Maybe his representatives should. But one of my stances has been, I've stood firm on it from the beginning. I don't care if you're playing in China, Indonesia, Czechoslovakia, wherever, zipping in and zipping out. If you're getting paid and there's money deposited into your account, you are a professional. Maybe not be in the NBA, might not be in the G League, but you are getting paid. That is your profession. So there again, I think there's a lot of areas there that have got to be tightened up, corrected, or eliminated. And there again, if you're getting paid, you're a pro. Can you come back to college? I think there's a lot of focus being on, well, this guy, went to college and then he signed an NBA contract. Okay. But these guys that played in China and in Europe, they signed some type of contract too and got paid, which I don't particularly like either, personally. But there again, until the NCAA can get their house in order, and these coaches out there, they're all looking for that little glimmer that they can slide through to get some type of advantage.
Yes.
They all want to do it. And I think there again, I've said it all week, if this ruling goes in Bediako's favor, watch out. And I'm sure that's what Greg Sankey wants to avoid.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And anybody associated with leadership in college athletics doesn't want
and
that.
I don't want to get, into this, and that's just a whole other subject, but it's, the NIL and the constant transferring and, how much money these guys were getting paid. Well, originally we thought they were going to a car dealership and sign autographs on a poster and get $2,000. Now they're getting $2 million. that toothpaste is out of the tube. I don't know how they're going to correct that.
Well, there's, again, willingly signing away your college eligibility and then later on saying, "Just kidding," like Johnny did whenever he unplugged the lights in Airplane. Just kidding.
Yeah, was that after you can make a brooch or you can make a
pterodactyl?
Yeah.
He has signed away his rights. He knowingly
Yeah.
did it in good faith and everything, and now later on, you come back and say, "Oh, that's not fair."
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's like, I'm going to retire. No, I think I'm coming back. I'm not going to retire anymore.
Yeah. Now, there's also this. What did I see earlier? It might have been from Obama Pride.
Okay.
I get kind of lost about them, with the names and everything. Bama Pride says, legend.
Yep.
Had a great take yesterday. Oh, that's F-bomb.
Yeah.
See, it's difficult to read.
Yeah.
Let's see. Legend, great take yesterday on F-bomb. Said Bama should go independent, get out of the SEC, and get the same automatic college football playoff bid provided to Notre Dame.
I did not hear that call. Really? That was a great call.
That's a great take.
That's kind of like, I'm taking my ball and going home.
They beat idiots. They ain't doing that in 100 million years.
Barry, I know you probably saw it. Earlier this week, the release, or the SEC released it, of how much money every school is going to get in May. They brought in over $1 billion, and they're splitting that up, I guess, 14 ways equally, because Texas and Oklahoma, I guess, still don't get the max.
They don't get the full amount.
Yeah,
no.
right.
They will, but not.
Yeah. So you think that's why Vandy hangs around. I mean, you kidding me? Yeah, I'll go to Sandestin every May and pick up a check. You better believe it.
The University of Alabama is willing to give up the tens and hundreds of millions of dollars with SEC membership because they got their lip poked out about Charles Bediako. All right, that's a great take. I'll ride with you on that.
I'm not buying that.
Coming up in just a moment, Lee Sterling.
Yes,
right?
Paramount Sports. Lee always joins us the Friday before the big Super Bowl game, which is, of course, Sunday out in Santa Clara. He'll break that down for us.
It's coming up. John and I are live at Stivers Ford Lincoln, Eastern Boulevard of the Troy Highway in Montgomery, Alabama. It's our Friday show, Longshore and McKnight, in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. So glad you're with us here on this Friday. As we mentioned, Lee Sterling, our friend from Paramount Sports. Haven't spoken to him in a while during the NFL postseason, but we're getting him to hop on with us today before Super Bowl 60. Hey, Lee, it's been a minute. I hope you're having a great new year. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. You know, calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Super Bowl game doesn't mean anything to my clients. It's only like if I lose it, my house might get egged. I can have a winning season, but you win, and all they tell you is, what's it going to cost me for next year?
Yeah.
It's called the lay down.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been on the winning side, like 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls, right?
Yeah, but there's still a little bit of nervousness. Anything can happen.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want our viewers and listeners to be deceived. You've got on a jacket today. It's cold in Miami, but we don't want them to think that you're cold, because you've been hot when it comes to picking the NFL.
55 degrees last night. 55.
Wow.
Which is subarctic for Miami.
We bring out the parkas. What was interesting was a couple days ago, my daughter was in Anchorage for a convention. She works for MSC Cruises, and it was 38 degrees, and it was 36 degrees last Sunday in Miami. So colder in Miami. And last night, when it was 55, I did a segment. My last segment was in South Dakota, and it was 70 degrees yesterday in South Dakota. So
70 degrees here. Real quick, we'll tease your Super Bowl pick, but your thoughts on the national championship game a couple of weeks ago?
I mean, just came up 40 yards short. Miami is sitting. I think the defining play was the punt block. They were always playing from behind, and give Indiana credit. Didn't make a whole lot of mistakes. They converted a bunch of 3rd and 4th downs. I'm going to make a statement here. I'm pretty good at reading quarterbacks. Great story, Fernando Mendoza, but I don't think he's going to be a good pro. And especially going to the Raiders, a team that has an awful offensive line and coaching staff hasn't been good. I hope he succeeds, but I think the odds are against him. I think most years he's a 2nd, 3rd rounder. You look at the draft this year, I think it's one of the worst drafts in the last 25 years.
Wow.
If I was an NFL team, I would trade out this year, no matter where you are, if you're a top 10, 15 pick. If you can get a 1 and a 2 for next year, I think next year's draft is going to be one of the greatest drafts of all time. Loaded, the top 15, 20 guys. So if you can get 2-3 horses in first round next year, you're going to be set. So just some of my thoughts watching games and players, but great run by Miami. They're at the 40-yard line with 50 seconds to go. All they need to do is keep throwing. With a college clock, it stops after a first down. Throw it over the middle. So the one mistake Carson Beck made in the game, threw the ball short, but it was a great event. I mean, the Indiana fans are great, hospitable, unlike the Ohio State fans.
They're the worst.
But they're not the greatest. Although Miami fans don't have an incredible reputation either. But it was a great five week run for Miami. So I was out and I was able to go to one of the road games. Went to the game out in Dallas against Ohio State. So to me, getting revenge for 23 years later was great. But I have to give my hats off to my son-in-law who played at Miami. He was a center. He went to the first game at Texas A&M, came back, went to Dallas the next week, went to Phoenix for the game against Ole Miss. And we couldn't go. We had a wedding that started at like 4:00 on a Friday, a wedding weekend up in Palm Beach. He hopped a red eye to make it back. So give him credit.
Dedicated.
No kidding.
All right, let's get down to business here. The Super Bowl, Seattle and New England. First of all, your level of surprise that they're even there, that those are the teams, or not? Is this just seems
shocked. Absolutely shocked. New England 1 year turnaround from being one of the worst teams to making a Super Bowl. Partially, great schedule, but I think they're a year away. Seattle 2 years in the making. New coaching staff. They've drafted extremely well. They've added some nice pieces in free agency. So Seattle, not quite as surprised, but usually you got to pay your dues, and neither team really paid their dues. But I like Seattle here. We'll start off with a game. We'll get into some player and some fun props. But I just think that Drake May, not 100%, shoulder injury, hasn't looked good in the postseason. I'm about explosive plays, and I don't think New England probably has enough in them. And I know Ramondre Stevenson's been great in the playoffs, but fumble prone before the last 5-6 games, and the Legion of Boom too likes to go for the strip early and often, and he might fumble. And without Trevion Henderson getting a whole lot of touches, he was their guy midseason, was breaking off 50, 60, 70-yard touchdown runs. I think they're going to be limited. It's tough to go down the field in 12, 14, 15 plays and score without having a couple penalties, an interception, or a fumble. So I think Sam Darnold's figured it out here. I like Seattle. I think their defense is a little bit better, and they also get to play once a year in that stadium. So the familiarity should help them out. Let's go with Seattle here. The favorite by 4 points or more has lost against the spread the last 7 times. Happened that way.
Yep.
But last win was in Miami. Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts over the Bears. I think it's going to happen again. I like Seattle to win and cover 27-16.
27-16, Seattle over the Patriots. Now, of course, we talk about this improved Seattle team, Lee, and around these parts, a lot of people think it's because they fired their offensive coordinator last year. Unfortunately, he ended up in Tuscaloosa where they had zero running attack. So maybe that's one of the big things for the Seahawks in their favor.
Could be part of it. Let's be honest. Slight upgrade there. But here's a couple player props I like.
Yeah, let's do that.
I don't like doing first touchdown because it's random. If you got 20, 25 people at a party, put every quarterback, running back, receiver's name in the hat, and someone's going to win. Just too random for me. Yeah. But I do like Kenneth Walker, anytime touchdown.
I do.
Yeah. Also, a couple receivers I like. I like Cooper Kupp. Think he's coming on. Veteran here, still got enough in the tank here. Against zone defenses, that's where he does his best work. Over 2.5 receptions like that. Like another receiver for New England, Mac Hollins, on his 6th team, already his 6th team. Doesn't run many flanker screens, but they run him down the field. He'll catch 2-3 balls. Over 15.5 yards, longest reception. I like that. Mac Hollins. Stephon Diggs. Think he's lost a step. He did have 4 and 5 catches the last 2 games, but he's going to face some man-to-man, a lot more man-to-man defense. So I'm going to go under 4.5 receptions. And then the one everyone's waiting for, my daughter's national anthem. Charlie Puth. So I said to my daughter, get on it, about 10 days ago. And she calls me back. She goes, I'm ready. I love it. I love One Side. And I'm like, really? Now, remember, she hits 9 straight. And then 2 years ago, Reba McEntire, we had the under, repeats the last line twice.
Reba, come
goes
on.
over.
Oh.
So we're going to give her a push. She says it's a win, but we're going to give her a push because most sports books paid both sides as a goodwill gesture. Then last year, she liked the under.
Sports books actually do that?
Goodwill gesture?
Once every 10 years.
For years.
Yeah.
Not your sports books, but most sports books.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Last year, John Batista, she thought the under. She said it's going to be tight. Well, it was so tight, it was 1 second under.
Ooh.
So she's 10-0-1. And here's what she said. She said that Charlie Puth has never sang a national anthem. And I'm like, so you love it? She goes, there's always an angle. He did an interview with Ryan Seacrest a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And in the interview, he talked about how serious he took it. Okay. Then he said he's going to be doing it. He's a singer, songwriter, composer. He's doing it with a choir and an orchestra. So let's say he starts and let's say he stops. Usually an orchestra and a choir, not going quick.
That's true.
Yes.
It's from the first note to the last note. She said over 1 minute and 59.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Just short of 2 minutes. She goes way over 2:10, 2:15.
Ooh,
Easy.
Love it.
Easy.
2:10, 2:15 on the national anthem. That is fantastic. Lee, had somebody ask me, What about in-game wagering? Do you release any of that type stuff?
I do. I have a select few clients that like to play big, and I release those out via text. So
Yeah.
we do that, but it's kind of more feel. I'm very, very selective. I might go the entire Super Bowl or champion. I think we had one in the championship games. Like to be selective there and pounce when I see some good odds, but should be fun. I know we're not going to reconvene until the Wednesday before March Madness, but they want to check me out each and every day. I'm on the Locked On Network. A 15-minute podcast. It's up already today, Monday through Friday. Just go to YouTube, Spotify, or Apple. Type in Locked On Bets, 15 minutes. Give out 3 or 4 selections every day, Locked On Bets.
That's outstanding.
Lee, one more time.
Yep.
Your Super Bowl winner and the score for the game Sunday in Santa Clara.
Seattle, 27-16. Take it to the bank.
There you go. Appreciate you, Lee.
Don't need to watch the game. Just watch the commercials.
Love it. Hey, we'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Okay.
Have a great rest of your weekend.
Take care, guys. Be safe.
You too, buddy. Thank you. There you have it, Barry. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, going with the Seahawks to cover the 4.5.
He mentions his daughter. His daughter she goes all around. She it's not her like main line of work, but she sings the national anthem and a lot of things. She's really talented, and it's been kind of a cottage industry for him and her because she is dead on. She goes through everything because she sings something. I mean, she'll sing at sporting events. You've probably seen her before.
Yeah.
She goes in. This guy's never sung it before, so it ain't like he's going to be la 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 la. He's going to be, and plus with a choir and an orchestra.
159.5.
She says way over. 210, 215.
What if you get beat by that hook on the national anthem?
Well, that's like Reba McEntire. What was it, 3 years ago? Reba McEntire. She probably did it on purpose.
Yeah.
In the game in Arizona in 2024. Everybody's timing it, and she repeats the last line.
So Barry,
no.
That's something that could leak out. Somebody that's been in there helping her rehearse, watching her rehearse. I mean, and I know there's a limit. I mean, it's probably $2,000 the max you can put on the national anthem. But at least I got to think. I mean, there again, you don't know the outcome of a game.
No.
But you can know the outcome of the national anthem. You don't know the outcome of the coin flip.
I just, she might have done that just off the top of her head. I'm going to sing it again. I can't believe it's done. I'm going to do it like one more time. The greatest national anthem ever sung was in Tampa. Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Sang the heck out of it.
Well, she lip synced the heck out of it.
Well,
there was a lot of talk
at
about
some point she sang it.
Some of it might have been pre-recorded. Some of it live or Memorex. Remember those commercials?
But it took forever.
Yeah.
The greatest Star Spangled Banner, that was the greatest Super Bowl. The greatest national anthem ever done was Marvin Gaye one time in an NBA game where he did it with some R&B. That was really
was playing the bass, I believe, at the same time. Yeah, that's exactly right. The president's not going to be at the Super Bowl, is he? I know he likes to go to football games, but I'm not sure that's actually his crowd in Santa Clara. That's an interesting.
I've never been. I've been to San Francisco. I've not been to
because it wasn't the greatest experience. The game wasn't real good, and my son wanted to leave midway through the third quarter. I said, "Look, buddy, it's not like we're getting in the car and driving back to Montgomery from Tuscaloosa. I mean, we're like 2,000 miles away, buddy." So we had to sit there and watch it all. But just where the stadium is located, I mean, there's really no pregame atmosphere. It's a lot of tech companies. I mean, there's Apple and Google and all these. I remember driving to the stadium and thinking, oh wow, that's where Apple is and that's where Google is and all this type of stuff. And it's just not really a football feel.
Not college. No.
And I believe they've played a Super Bowl there before. I want to say it was the Panthers and the Broncos played in Santa Clara. many years ago, and it doesn't actually hold. I mean, it's not like it's 100,000 seats, which I don't think the NFL really cares about anyway.
They did. They played it in 2016 in Santa Clara. So, yes,
so it's kind of an interesting, and I guess they like being in the California market. I want to say it's in LA next year. They're out west a lot. I think maybe even Vegas might be hosting it sometime.
I want to get out of that. The fact that it was held in Santa Clara in 2016. I want to get out of that quickly because that was when the 17-1 Carolina Panthers, led by NFL MVP, who shall not be named, otherwise we'll go on another 20-minute rant or 20-minute riff, lost to the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning.
14. So, they were 17-1.
Heading into that game, they ended up losing. They finished the year 17-2.
Man,
that year, yeah.
I vaguely remember that game, but I certainly didn't remember.
Ooh, hit him again! Hit him again! Yeah. Come on,
I don't remember that Carolina was 17-1 coming into that game.
That is true.
That's they had been 17-1 in quite some time.
So
even with Bryce Young at quarterback.
Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, online at ParamountSports.com. And again, like us, like so many others, on YouTube at Locked On Bets.
Yes.
If you want to check that out. Locked On Network has a lot of stuff. Some people need a network like that. We kind of stand on our own.
Yes, we do. We certainly do.
Yes.
Well, we're here live at Stivers Ford in Montgomery. Of course, the Start the Year Savings Sales event is ongoing. Here we are on the 6th of February, and with the weather's beautiful. I want you to come on out and see the incredible inventory here at Stivers. Or as we mentioned earlier, go to Stivers online and check it out. Their whole inventory is there for you to see. A lot of people shop that way, purchase their vehicles online, so you can certainly do that as well. We're big fans of online. Obviously, as Barry mentioned, with our online broadcast and audio and video that you can check out on so many different platforms. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And of course, you can check us out at yellowhammernews.com and the Yellowhammer News Facebook page, our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, X, Spotify, Apple Tunes. We are all over the place, and we really appreciate everybody that listens and views, and of course hits that like button, hits that subscribe button. It helps with the algorithm, they say, Barry. I'm not sure. To me, an algorithm is some type of maybe disease that you don't want to get, but it has nothing to do with
You better
health.
Wash your hands. You'll catch an algorithm.
You'll catch an algorithm. Don't you drink after that person. You could catch an algorithm.
Lots of things that have been happening. We're going to kind of catch you up on as well. Matthew Stafford was named NFL MVP, Super Bowl coming up, basketball, some really good games. The Olympics are coming up as well. And
what did you think about Lee Sterling's comment about the Indiana quarterback? You know, I've made some bold statements about college quarterbacks. I didn't think we'd make it in the NFL either.
Yes. He's not. This is what I hear from a lot of people.
Okay.
Is that he's too nice. He's such a good guy. He's not athletic enough. He doesn't have a big arm. He's plenty athletic. If you ever watch him on a scramble, he looks a little bit goofy, but they ain't catching him. You know, I mean, he's getting that first down. He got that touchdown when they absolutely needed to have it. He's incredibly smart and well prepared. Athletically, Peyton was never a great athlete. Eli was a better athlete than Peyton. I don't know that you could say that Drew Brees was not athletic or that Tom Brady was not athletic, but I don't think in a decathlon that they would beat Kyler Murray or they would beat
I think in
Justin
the NFL,
Fields or
Barry,
Caleb Williams or
and I've
somebody.
heard Tom Brady say something like this. I'm not sure athletic ability like you see in the high school level, maybe even college, where the quarterback's the best athlete on the field. I think in the NFL, you've got to have it between the ears. You got to be able to dissect that defense in front of you, put your team in the best position.
Needs
exactly.
To
distribute the ball where it has got to go. So I get that. I don't think Bryce Young is overly athletic. And when he was at Alabama, he knew where to put the football. He knew where to get the ball What he wasn't, if you saw Bryce Young taking off running, you're thinking, uh-oh, get down. You're like 140 pounds dripping wet. You do not need to take a shot. Same thing with Tua. But I also think you got to have people around you. And I'm not sure the Raiders
all
have
about
anybody.
situation.
Yeah, I think that's been a problem for Bryce at Carolina. I think it's been a problem for Tua at Miami.
But conversely, John has mentioned this. On the other side of the spectrum, Jalen Hurts, you talk about just dropping into a great spot.
Yeah.
He
Definitely.
did that. Is he as good on the Titans team? I don't think so.
I don't know what to say about the Cowboys, Barry. I know their quarterback's
You
taking
never
a lot
had
of
that
crud.
problem before.
You would think the Cowboys do have a lot of pieces around to help them.
They don't.
But maybe so. If he's somewhere else, maybe if he's at Philadelphia, he's doing better. Who knows?
Anybody. We almost would go the Longshore Bobby Cox take, where John could quarterback Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, Barry, because I made the statement numerous times. I could have managed the Braves to at least get them to the World Series. Hey, Tommy, you're on the mound today.
Well,
hey, Steve, you're pitching today.
We are wrapping up our first live hour here at Stivers Ford Lincoln, Eastern Boulevard at the Troy Highway. Really good friend of mine. Saw him this past week. My buddy Robbie Kinsall.
Okay.
He says, "Good morning, Barry." Fist bump. Yeah. He's watching on Facebook. You had mentioned something earlier that we're not going to give out the numbers or anything, but highly encouraging numbers from from the people who associate and promote our program at Yellowhammer News.
Yep.
We're going to talk about that a little bit more about Stivers Ford Lincoln later on the Phantoms Daily Dog and John's Super Bowl pick. Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel in our second hour of the live show of Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool, keep them coming, and keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry is an Alabama-based, family-owned and operated business that specializes in dry cleaning and laundry, serving the river region since 1941. There are 12 convenient locations across the river region. Find one close to you or call 481-1911 for free pickup and delivery. For 83 years, Central Alabama has trusted Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry. You should too.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. I don't think Lee Sterling's still with us, but he was with us earlier today on the program. And, of course, you heard his Super Bowl selection. If you didn't, hey, no problem. You can always go back and check it out at your convenience. That's the beauty of this format. We do it live each and every weekday from 7 to 9, but you can watch it or listen to it anytime you want to on all the platforms that we lay out there for you each and every day.
It's entertaining. There's a lot of people who do what Lee does, ParamountSports.com. But for our intents and purposes, very few people do it as entertainingly as Lee does. And he's all over the nation because of all that. Even people who say, I like watching him, even though I never win those kind of things. I never win that kind of thing. I like watching him. It's like people out there who say, good gosh, I hate to go out and have to buy a car. I never win at those things.
Yeah.
You can win in your association here with Stivers Ford Lincoln. John, we see people do it every day.
We do, Barry. You're right about that. And there's so many vehicles that you see that Stivers decal on the back of the trunk or the tailgate, wherever it may be, the Stivers tag in the front of the vehicle. So many satisfied customers here in the River region and far beyond throughout the state and throughout the nation. We told you about the story of the lady that came from Arizona to pick up a vehicle here at Stivers Ford. So people see it. You can go to Stivers online and check out their entire inventory, even purchase your car that way if you like. Or if you want to come into the dealership and do it that way, the sales associates here are more than happy to help you with your car buying needs. There's so many to choose from. The inventory, Barry, we've always told you, it's second to none. Nobody can touch the number of vehicles on the ground here at Stivers.
They got a vehicle out here right now.
Yep.
And you may, there's a jillion of them. You may miss this one. But if you think that, you know what the F-150 is all about.
Oh, yeah.
And you probably do. Goodness knows, for 50 years, it's been the best-selling truck in America. So, you think, no, I've heard, of course everybody's heard of the F-150.
Oh, sure.
But they got this one over here. It's jet black, crew cab,
You might have to go walk around with your phone today, Barry, like you did last week.
Oh, I might have to try that.
Yeah.
It's good because it doesn't look like the perception of a solid, just work truck.
Yep.
It is a solid work truck. My point is that it doesn't look like one. It's stylish. It's streamlined. It looks great. And John, that's the reason why the F-150 has been the best-selling truck in America for 50 years. It ain't the same truck every year. They don't trot it out there and say, hey, look, here it is. It's like a Model T. No. It's different every year. They streamline it. There's tweaks. There's design improvements all the time. The F-150 that you may have looked at 30 years ago is not the same on F-150 you'd be fortunate to buy here.
Our friends and associates have F-150s. And they bought them right here at Stivers. So you should as well. All right. Barry, tomorrow. Obviously, there's this little thing called the Iron Bowl on the hardwood. Hasn't taken off as much as I thought it would.
Some people insist on continuing to call it the Iron Bowl on the hardwood.
Hard-headed, I've heard people say that about people like that. Auburn is a 1.5-point favorite in this game.
Are they? Only? Oh, okay.
With a total of 176.5. There again, those numbers might change depending on what happens with Charles Bediako, but should they? Has he really made that big of a difference for this Alabama team? I don't know. I think Tahad Pettiford needs to get hot tomorrow for Auburn. I think that would be big. Obviously, we've seen, Holloway and Philon for Alabama play well, and when they get hot, it's tough to beat them.
Holloway, former Aub, is shooting like 51% from three-point range.
Yeah, which is where he wanted to shoot from.
Nobody does that. He's terrific.
Bruce didn't want to do that. But anyway, 1.5, Auburn's the favorite. 176.5 is the total. Is tomorrow a big deal? And I guess, you want to win.
Neither one of them are ranked for the first time in about.
Is it toilet paper worthy? You remember Elaine, that episode? Is she sponge worthy? I'm wondering, is this game toilet paper worthy? Or do they call it bathroom tissue? What's the best way to describe that?
It's toilet paper.
Toilet paper,
TP.
TP.
I've heard somebody earlier this week say, or advise Auburn people, look, just if you win, don't go rushing out. It's across campus. Sure. Neville Arena is way across campus, catty corner from Toomer's Corner. Rush over there and be the first one to roll it, and just have, hundreds and hundreds of rolls of toilet paper.
Right.
Act like that's what we do.
Well, Barry, we like to use these analogies and these comparisons relationships between males and females. So you got this girl, and she's kind of sweet on you.
Yeah.
And she's kind of flirting and giving you the eye and making time with you. You just don't automatically just fall to your knee. Oh, yeah, honey, whatever. You kind of make her work for it a little bit. And it kind of helps the relationship grow and prosper and become stronger. You don't want to just cave in from the get-go. Same thing with this basketball game. Just act like, hey, we know you're here. We know you're in state with us. You're our stepbrother over there in West Alabama. We get it. But we're not going to give you the satisfaction if we win that we're going to run over there to Toomer's Corner and fill the trees with toilet paper. I know that's what you're expecting us to do. And you'll get on your little message boards and snicker and laugh and go, look at what they're up to again. Roll in that corner. Just don't do it. That, to me, they're going, wait a minute. Did they not roll Toomer's Corner? Hey, they beat us by 12. Isn't that toilet paper worthy?
I know we're not ranked, but I mean, we're us and they're them.
Just act like, another win. So what?
Save it. If you have to do it, save it for an improbable NCAA tournament game against them.
Now, I know people are listening to this, watching it going, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Who cares what you think? But over the years, there have been multiple instances where Auburn has eventually come around, and they haven't given me credit for it, but they've
never will
done things that actually I suggested that they do. And this is just another suggestion.
All right.
I'm not looking for any accolades. I don't want anybody to write, we didn't roll Toomer's Corner because Longshore said it would be best if we didn't because it would hurt Bama fan even more. No, they're not going to say that. They're not going to write that. I get it. Just think it's a good idea.
So, what's the line on this?
1.5. Auburn's a 1.5 point favorite.
I thought I wouldn't see the line until tomorrow morning.
Well, yep. See, I think it's right there. Now, it will be updated, Barry. I don't believe this.
They always update.
I don't believe this is the line that this will be the line at tip tomorrow. There again, I think the Bediako situation, maybe a little bit, might have a little something to say about it, a tad. I don't think Alabama's going to be a favorite.
Oh, no, I don't either.
Do you think Auburn should be a bigger favorite?
That's about right, I guess. Maybe a little bit of a bigger favorite because I think having it at Neville.
And if you look at all of the SEC games tomorrow, you see that every game there's not a line on every one of the games.
Which is what, makes me wonder the legitimacy of those lines.
Yeah, well, there again, maybe they're thinking these are the games that are going to get the most action. So they're going ahead and putting those out there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking that maybe the reason. So they're going to put the ones out there first. Those are the ones that they've broken down and handicapped. So they're going to go ahead and throw those out there as well. I'm getting these off DraftKings, which is what it used to be ESPN Bets, and they completely went to DraftKings now, which is a huge organization that regulates sports wagering, Barry. I don't know if you've heard that term before.
Well, the problem is that ESPN was sponsoring that, and they had their own special experts, and they were losing their shirts on it. So they're farming it out to DraftKings.
Yeah, which is a huge
wagering
organization,
probably smart,
and regulates they regulate the wagering, which is there again something we've talked a lot about. Florida's a 4.5 point favorite at Texas A&M. Buckyball taking the Gators, and they're a home dog. And do you think Buckyball's here to stay? I mean, that term that it's always going to be known as Buckyball.
I think so.
Did you ever think a high school coach at Mountain Brook would end up being a college coach in the SEC, particularly years ago when I said, Barry, I think this guy at Mountain Brook, Alabama, really needs to take a strong look at this guy.
I think if a high school coach in whatever it is, Romulus, Michigan, can become the head basketball coach at the University of Alabama, that obviously is certainly the thing to do. And this person, I saw that coming a mile away. Now, if you were unfortunate enough to be a high school coach in Springdale, Arkansas, and revolutionize offensive football for a little while and end up being the head coach at Auburn, then, according to some people, you shall forever be known to. He's a high school coach. Runs a high school offense.
That's a gimmick.
But Nate Oates, a high school coach in Romulus, Michigan, and a high school teacher and all that kind of stuff, he ends up at Alabama. It's like, well, this was a same thing with Bucky McMillan. if you can coach, you can coach. Sometimes I think high school coaches are probably better coaches than a lot of college coaches.
Yeah,
I
I
know
agree.
they're more involved. They're out there. You ain't never going to see John Calipari at Bud Walton Arena with that big, wide dust mop going up and down. You're going to see the head coach at a lot of high schools.
Or
doing
washing
that.
uniforms.
Yeah.
Which high school
Or
coach
driving the
can
bus.
do. Yeah.
So,
Barry,
anyway.
speaking of Malzahn, I would in the something I did not know category. Nick Saban inquired with Gus Malzahn to be his offensive coordinator in 2014? Was that whenever it was? And Malzahn turned him down. He was maybe in his first year at Arkansas State or Tulsa, maybe.
No, it had to have been because they played for the national championship in 2013.
Yeah.
Right? So it had to have been like 2012.
Yeah, was Malzahn at Tulsa at one time?
He was an assistant at Tulsa.
Okay.
When he and then came to Auburn, and then he was the head coach at Arkansas State.
Left Auburn to go to Arkansas State.
And then came back.
He saw what was coming with Chiswick.
As the head coach at Auburn. He was at Arkansas State 1 year.
So as I read that, and I kind of went, you have a little dream sequence pop up, and I'm going, Malzahn on the sidelines with Saban, chomping that gum, got the vest on, got the visor, and they're running the hurry up, no huddle.
Bama fans would love it. Man, they think, this is really great. Look at that. Young man does well coming from high school. Cinderella's story, normally reserved Augusta crowd and all that kind of stuff. But he goes to Auburn. That's a high school coach. Runs a high school offense. Nate Oates comes to Alabama, high school coach, got his start. And all of a sudden, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I did not know that.
It's interesting. That's why that same mindset is why if Charles Bediako was at Arkansas or was at Tennessee or was at Florida, Bama fans would be united as one, 100% opposition to this. Now you're seeing Bama fans cite precedent and court cases, a G League contract is not binding or whatever. Man, you would be all over this thing.
Yeah, I mean, if this guy was playing at Auburn, there's no doubt. Tennessee, whomever. But I will say this, Barry. I don't see this just overall huge outpouring of support for Bediako. I mean, they kind of give him a hand. If he gets in the game, they'll cheer a little bit. But I do think there's this sense amongst Bama fans that we're not really 100% comfortable with this. But, hey, if the coach says it's cool, then it's cool.
Yeah.
If the AD's okay with it, all right. Probably, I want to say, looking back on it, the AD's behind closed doors going, why did we do this? I don't know if the college president ever gets involved as well. I guess you can come back to go to school.
Sure, you can.
But coming back to go to school and play basketball,
you would be.
But there again, I'm holding out until we find out officially what happens in this ruling, because two things are going to happen. If it goes in Bediako's favor, a bunch of other schools are going to be doing the same thing.
All right, so it's cool, right? It's cool. All right, good.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, like I said, I'll go even one further. There are schools right now, before this hearing even takes place, that have a list.
Yeah.
They have made contact with the people on the list saying, okay, if this thing goes, you can be here Monday, 9 a.m., because we practice at 9:15.
Sure.
I mean, they are sitting on G, waiting on O.
Yeah.
I promise.
And Barry, if it doesn't go his way, look at Bama. Trying to cheat, circumnavigating the rule book.
Well,
trying to get an egg. They should have never done that. Egg on their face. It's an embarrassment to the sport, to the league, to the school. I cannot believe they did that. So that's what's coming. One of those two. It's not an either or. Hey, man, I'm doing that too. Can you believe
the initial reaction, if the court hearing goes against Bediako, would be 90% of the people in the country saying, okay, NCAA, you guys are making them forfeit those games they won, right? Those are 2 losses now, or 2 non-wins. That's what they're after next. They're going to be piling on because, again, uniformly across the country, nobody is in Alabama's boat on this.
Yeah.
Alabama is the lone wolf on this deal. So,
but there again, Barry, man, thanks to Alabama. Look what they did for us. Hey, we're going to go get one of these players too.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
wrong, and we don't like it. And, college athletics has totally lost their way. But, hey, if we can do it, we better do it
there again
before everybody does it to us.
There again, Barry, let's go back to the relationship analogy. Hey, man, will you go out with Betty to the prom this week? Well, Betty's not real cute. She's got a little complexion issue working there, a little chubby, not very talkative. 2 years later, hey, man, are you with Betty? Wow.
Whoa.
Is that the same Betty of 2 years ago? No way.
She's been drinking.
Man, I cannot believe that's the same person.
More in just a moment. Our buddy Way Offsides Jeff is about to come in with a little more 7 Brew for us. John needs it. He's
out.
Yeah. We're live at Stivers Ford Lincoln, Eastern Boulevard of the Troy Highway in Montgomery. When we come back,
look at that.
It'll be time for the Phantoms Daily Dog and maybe a John Longshore Super Bowl pick as well.
Get ready.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Hey, folks, how often do you think about your roof? Probably not often at all. I know I didn't until I needed a roof replacement. And I call my friends at Roof Life. Whether it's roof inspections, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, Roof Life is there for you. They use the highest quality products, top quality craftsmanship, and if you're like me, your roof can be replaced in one day. So if you're in need of a roof inspection, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, get in touch with my friends at Roof Life today. You can go to roofyourlife.com. That's roofyourlife.com, or dial them up locally at 334-306-6712. That's 334-306-6712.
Love is in the air, and so is your chance to win during Victoryland Casino's BMW and 25K giveaway. Drive away in a brand new BMW or win your share of $25,000 in free play. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Stop by the Players Club and fall in love with this month's exciting free play promotions. There's more ways to win at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Located off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings February 27th and 28th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Okay, Barry, we're back at it here live at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. And you mentioned it. Phantom's Daily Dog, as well as a Super Bowl selection. And, of course, they're all brought to you by our good friends at River Region Straw, premium long needle pine straw for all of your landscaping needs. Make your property look its very best, whether it's your home or your business. They can handle it all for you, from a pickup truck load to an 18-wheeler load. They can do it all. They can even bring it to your property and spread it if you need them to do that for you, or you can pick it up and do it yourself. It's your choice. And also, Barry, still plenty of cold weather out there, so that seasoned firewood ready for you to enjoy and keep you warm. Kenny can deliver and stack that up for you as well.
3 locations in Montgomery, over there off Chantilly, Prattville by the viaduct, in Auburn, and they're doing so well, John. Business is expanding.
Yep.
Have another one coming up.
That's right, up in the Birmingham area. So great news for River Region Straw, and of course, a big partner of what we do here.
Just call or text Kenny at 669-5959. That's 669-5959 at River Region Straw. Proud as always. Have we ever tallied up how many years that the Phantom has been brought to you by River Region Straw?
Well,
I can't remember when the Phantom wasn't.
Yeah.
When the Daily Dog, when the Phantom, and all that hasn't been brought to you.
Yep, that's right, Barry. You know, winners stay together. That's what they say. And, of course, the Phantom and River Region Straw stay together. All right. The Daily Dog. We're going to start out with the Daily Dog. Last night, Barry, we had a game out west. There's a golf tournament out west in Phoenix. The Waste Management Open.
They got to do something about that.
A lot of the big names, Barry, did not have good opening rounds. Scheffler, Koepka, a few others. Whoa, tough day on the links for those guys. So, but we still stayed out there, and it was a basketball game last night, and it was a tough one for the home team. The Phoenix Suns hosting the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors catching 6.5 at Phoenix. Of course, hits Daily Dog. We're taking the dog, and look at that. The dog won outright.
Warriors win in Phoenix, 101-97.
Yeah.
Add it up.
Add it up.
That is not 6.5.
It is not. Didn't even need
the other way.
Did not even need it. Golden State gets a big road win, catching points, won outright. Another winner for the Phantom Daily Dog. So what do we say?
NBA, the association.
I tell you, the Phantom's been hot with the NBA.
Good, yes.
Yeah, Phantoms. The NBA's been good to the Phantom. So tonight, Barry, I know how it goes. Okay, great, Phantom, whatever. What do you got tonight? Well, we're sticking in the association tonight.
Don't blame the Phantom one tiny bit.
Barry, this game tips at 6:30 on Prime Video again, similar to the game last night. It didn't tip at 6:30, but it was on Prime Video.
In the Motor City.
You are correct,
Motown.
Sir. Motown, where the Detroit Pistons are a 1.5-point underdog at home hosting the New York Knicks.
Pistons are really good.
And so are the Knicks.
The Knicks are good too. Jalen Brunson's been playing well. This is maybe, it's weird because a lot of times Amazon Prime Video gets stuck with the poor NFL game, although that changed a little bit late in the year. This may be the best game in the NBA.
Could be.
Tonight.
I'm with you. So we like the Pistons. Now, this isn't the old Pistons of Bill Laimbeer and Joe Dumars and those guys.
Oh, Rick Mahorn and Rodman, Isaiah, Vinny the Microwave Johnson.
You're talking about some cheap shots and some elbows to the midsection. That's when basketball was basketball.
This is when John would say, what do we got, NBA on?
The
Pistons?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
I'm in. So we're taking the Pistons plus 1.5 at home against the Knicks. What about Super Bowl 60, Barry? I got a stat I got to throw out here for you.
All right, Super Bowl 60, Sunday night.
And I see our man Ralph Michaels in the green room. He's going to want to hear this. He knows this. Ralph already knows this, Barry. I got a good feeling Ralph knows it. Since 2004, the underdog in the Super Bowl is 15-7 against the spread.
Hey, now, that's a trend.
And the dog has covered the number in each of the last 5 since 2002. Underdogs of 3 points or more have gone 13-4 against the spread in this game. Now, I know people are saying Drake May still wet behind the ears. You know, he's a young guy out there, whatever. Maybe the Patriots are maybe a year or 2 away from winning the big game.
They should be happy just to be there and have the big turnaround.
Yeah. My answer to that is Sam Darnold. Are you going to put your faith in Sam Darnold? That's all I'm asking. You know, I got Seattle this, Seattle that.
What you got against Sam
Darnold? Really? Do you feel comfortable laying 4.5, 5 points with Sam Darnold?
He does look like the bad guy in RoboCop.
He does.
He's a ginger, you know.
And I will say, Barry, if you had to describe Drake May, who at one time was rumored to go to Alabama.
He was in a commitment to Alabama, but then he never went.
Yeah.
everybody in his family. His dad was a football. I remember him when he was a quarterback at North Carolina. His brother, played on national championship basketball teams at Carolina. Another brother played baseball at Carolina.
True.
But yet again, some people were saying, hey, I'm hearing he really wants to transfer and get to Tuscaloosa.
Well, a guy that Nick Saban thought so highly of, I don't think Nick Saban thought as highly about Sam Darnold. Just saying. So the world is on Seattle. I'm aware of that. Everybody loves the Seahawks, think they're going to blow them out.
Right.
Not so fast, my friend. The Phantom loves a dog. And I'm liking the 4.5, 5 here that you're catching in Super Bowl 60. So is this a field goal game? Yeah, I can see that. I just don't have enough faith in Drake May. I'm grabbing the points. I'm kind of bucking the trend, if you will, and taking the New England Patriots to cover the number in Santa Clara on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening.
I like it.
That's what I'm doing.
Very solid.
Yeah.
Very solid. That is the Phantom, brought to you by River Region Straw. Call and text Kenny at 669-5959. Some interesting games next
prop
year.
bets, Barry, I will say this. And Ralph's going to join us here in a moment and touch on a few of those again as you did last week. None of them are jumping off the page at me, but I will admit, I probably have not researched the prop bets like I have the game.
That's because they're not as serious.
That's why a guy like Ralph Michaels is going to help us out with that.
Well, you get stuff like, who was it? One of our guys, may have been Tobias, was saying, I've got a hundo on the blue Gatorade.
Oh, blue Gatorade.
And some of them, like Lee was talking about, are just luck.
Yeah.
Hey, who's going to score who's the first running back going to score a touchdown?
Will there be a safety in the game? That one's intrigued me. I don't know how many Super Bowls they've actually been a safety. Obviously, there's got to have been 1 in 60 games, but we'll see. Our man Ralph Michaels will join us when we return from our bottom of the hour break. He's in the green room, set up, ready to go.
Yeah, Ralph will join us in just a moment. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented.
Valentine's means Marguerite's, and Marguerite's has everything the special person in your life wants. Rings, bracelets, necklaces, earrings, pendants, and all shapes and sizes of diamonds. They have special gifts that will bring happiness and joy for decades and decades. For your convenience, Marguerite's is open 7 days a week. So drop by and pick out a gift that will surprise the Valentines in your life. Marguerite's is located at 8163 Vaughan Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerite's, they make it. They really make it.
What about your pipe?
Hey, where's the beer guy?
I got lucky.
Bud Light here? You get a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Tough to stop talking this way. Yeah. It's actually kind of fun. Hey, I got your Bud Light. Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. What'd I miss? I have no idea.
The Start Something New sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokee's under 30 grand or up to 15 grand off. Wranglers 12 grand off and Gladiators 16 grand off. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The Start Something New sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 CDJR dealer. New Rams 19 grand off or 0% for 6 years. And heavy duties 12 grand off. Backed by Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
There we go. Back at it. So way offsides Jeff Barry just brought us some 7 Brew coffee. And I'm in the process of putting a little Splenda in it.
It's high. I'm not a coffee drinker.
Yep.
This is tea, and it's always hot as blazes. 7 Brew's got a new location in Troy. I mean, they loaded up Troy Athletics. Free plug there.
Where's the location in Troy?
It is.
Excuse me while I reach for a stir.
Oh, yeah. Right over
there we go.
Oh, they got real sugar, too.
Yeah, and if you want some cream in that tea, Barry.
Well, that's a ton of cream.
That's a ton of cream.
Good gosh. The it's on 231 right there near the car wash.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, check that out. Free plug for them. Free plug for Way Offsides, Jeff. Appreciate
I don't know
that.
if Ralph Michaels has 7 Brew Coffee
This
where
is
he
good
is.
stuff.
But it's pretty good. We just got him here in town, Ralph. How you doing this
Ralph
morning?
Michaels has all the answers. He joins us from appreciate you joining us from Wager Talk, Ralph. It's Super Bowl week. What's your week look like on Super Bowl week? I can imagine you're busy.
Well, first, I want you to give a shout out to Scott Cross for me. So I was on Troy, and so I had to wear the shirt. This is about as close as I had. It's not a shirt, but I will tell you this. I was on Troy this week, and when you look at away favorites in college basketball of 6 or more that were trailing or tied at halftime, they are 11% against the spread. But you brought it in for me this week, winning by 7 after being tied in overtime. So thank you very much.
28-28 at halftime, and the Trojans win. I'm glad to hear you say that.
Man, can we get Ralph some Troy gear?
Hey, we got to work on that.
We'll send you some gear there, Ralph.
Yeah, we can.
You got it. I'll happily wear it. So.
Well, you've got you do a good bit of work in college basketball, do you not, Ralph?
Oh, I love college basketball. In fact. Yeah, it's really just keeping up on information, and the schools have gotten better. We talked about the injury reports not being good, but,
right.
Reading, you go to the schools to read the write-up of the games. Don't read the ESPN recap. Read the team recaps because it gives you so much more personality and players that played or didn't play. So, imagine my surprise when I went to the Troy website this week to look at the game, and there you are on the couch interviewing the women's coach on the video. So have to give you a shout out as well.
Awesome.
Oh, great stuff there, Ralph. All right, so obviously 2 days away from the game. Haven't heard a lot. I did hear some stuff about Drake May might have been a little ill, might have missed a practice. I don't know if that's just to get some buzz going, but I guess let's just we're going to get into some more props in a minute, but let's just jump into the game, the prep leading up to it, what you're hearing, and, of course, all the distractions that these players go through before they even tee the ball up on Sunday afternoon.
Well, we know that. And, I heard what the dog had. And, it's one of those things. You go to the website and you say, the dog of the day, this is my Super Bowl winner. Well, no kidding. If you're going to pick a dog and say it's the Super Bowl, guess what? We know what you're giving out.
That's right.
I will say this. I am not betting the side. I am not betting the total. Again, guys, if this game were played on a traditional Sunday, it would not be one of my top 3 or 4 plays. I'm going to have fun, and I made some side bets. I did want to give my customers something on the game. So here's how I approach the game. Seattle's laying 4.5, the total in the 40s. I bet Seattle on the money line, laid the 240, and I bet under 53.5 at minus 290. You parlay those two together, and you're laying 109 juice or less than the traditional juice. So we talked about the alt lines a little bit last week. I approached it as that. Just win the game goes under, and have that. So I just can't get past, we all know New England's played the weakest schedule of any Super Bowl participant in the last 20 years. It's the weakest schedule in the NFL overall the last 5 years. And, you can't set your schedule in the NFL, but they really weren't tested. So now you have a quarterback, the youngest quarterback to ever start a Super Bowl game. And were they tested in the playoffs? Well, they did very little against the Chargers, who had no offensive line. Against Houston, again, they struggled early without Nico Collins, and then they go to Denver and win without their quarterback. So they haven't proven to me they've been there and done that. Yes, they are number one, the statistically best profile team when you look at yards per game diff, but working the strength of schedule. Seattle right behind them at number 4. So, there's value to be found on some of the props, but it is what it is with the game. You don't want to force action just because it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Ralph, because, obviously there's so much business being done on the Super Bowl. You've got the casual person who doesn't really follow football and really doesn't bet much or anything. They're thinking, oh my gosh, hey, it's the Super Bowl. I've got to do something on the Super Bowl. No, you don't. You really don't.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this. I think the line is actually inflated a little bit. I actually inflated towards New England. If Mattress Mac doesn't make a $2 million bet on New England and all the people that follow him, those are the type of things that do change situations. And it's not like, do you know the reason why Mattress Mac bet $2 million on the Super Bowl? Obviously, he has the mattress stores in Houston, so he always bets big because he has the guarantees.
Yeah.
His reason was this. My nephew looks like the Patriots quarterback, so New England is my team.
Okay. I was going to ask you who Mattress Mac was. I never heard of that.
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
No, he bets
I've
millions
heard
of
of
dollars on all these. So he does all year long. He says, if you buy a bedroom set of $5,000 or more, if my Super Bowl bet wins, it's yours for free. So he has to cover all of those $5,000 purchases. But the business he gets, it's astounding that he has made a business pattern with that guarantee out of Houston. Check it up. It's an amazing story. He's really a great guy. Does a lot for charities as well.
I think you told us before, Ralph, and I never really thought about it, like many things, until you mentioned it to us, that a lot of the prop bets out there really don't require any research, which, you specialize in, finding out trends, finding out angles, getting information. There's a lot of those prop bets you might as well just flip a coin on. And, it doesn't seem as though that's really advisable unless you just want to have fun, I suppose.
Yeah, and you have to remember this. Many prop bets, especially those that get to the minus 200s, they are minus 200 for the favorite and plus 150 or 160. So they're keeping 50 cents of juice for every bet. A traditional Super Bowl bet is only 10%, where they're making 5% on each side. So they're covering their butts by making it the inflated juice, and you're laying the price. So be careful. That's where people get in trouble, are starting to bet a couple 150s and 200s, and all of a sudden you may only want to be betting 4 units, but you're risking 7 or 8 units, where it can turn a bad day into a very bad day playing too many big juice props.
So, Ralph, every Super Bowl we hear so-and-so bet $1 million on this team or whatever. Have we had any of that happen yet, or does it happen closer to kickoff?
The biggest I heard, again, Mattress Mac had $2 million on New England. There's a couple boxers in Vegas that usually show up and bet $1 million. And again, remember, guys, they're doing it for publicity. $1 million to them means $100 or maybe $500 to me. So do not be swayed by those big bets. It's the Super Bowl. People come out of the woodwork for the publicity.
Yeah, and you're right. Actually, I hadn't thought about that. I mean, $1 million, it's publicity to them. They don't care if they win or lose. But will something like that, Ralph, move the line any, or does Vegas know these guys they don't really care if they win or lose? It's just all about them and the publicity that they get.
There hasn't been a Super Bowl that's moved much more than a point in the last 7 years. I mean, they know what the line is. There's going to be enough money on both sides. You have the fan bases pouring it in. So very rarely have we seen Super Bowl moves, this close. Unless there's an injury, this is pretty much going to be the line. You may see the total climb a half a point in some places. Or the morning of the game, let's say someone is real heavy on New England, they may actually go to -4 to try to get Seattle money in. Yes, they can hurt themselves if it's exactly a 4-point win, but bookmakers are also business people that are trying to balance their books. So they're adjusting their lines to balance their books at the end of the day to get 10% on both sides. If you're a sports book operator and you get equal money on the Super Bowl, you cannot have a better day in your life.
You ain't kidding. You're exactly right. All right, Ralph, you mentioned college basketball. I'm going to throw a loop here to you. I don't know if you looked at this or not, but here in these parts, it's a kind of a big game tomorrow afternoon as Alabama is traveling to Auburn. Neither of these teams currently is ranked, which is kind of interesting. But if you thought about this type of game and a rivalry game, and, of course, the Charles Bediako aspect involved in it as well.
Well, you look at Bama. They come in now after starting the season 11-3. Losses at Vanderbilt, home against Texas, home against Tennessee, away versus Florida. They're off that Texas A&M win. And, Nate Oates going back to his Buffalo days, he's going to press the pace. But, you've got some injuries. Bo Bowen, Bristow. So when you have pace like that and you use your bench minutes very often, they're number 53 in bench minutes. So they rely on those backups as they are number 4 in tempo. I look at Auburn. Auburn's middle of the road in tempo, a nice offense. They're a team that doesn't rely on the three. They're in the mid 250s as far as 3-point percentage. So they're a big 2-point offense against Alabama. Alabama's defense is pretty split, 3 points and 2 points. But I think Auburn can at home slow this down a little bit. You look at a team that doesn't turn the ball over, is a very good offensive rebounding team. And this is a team that's played the second toughest schedule on the season. They've played a top 3 slate of offenses, top 3 slate of defenses, 4-1 their last 5 games. Their only loss. Nothing wrong with going to Tennessee and losing by 8. I do think the Tigers and Steve Pearl get it done.
Is that a War Eagle I'm hearing there, Barry? Is that a War Eagle I'm hearing from Ralph there?
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
I'll hear you.
Ralph Michaels, Wager Talk. So many things going on. I know it's a busy week for you. Best way for people to access your content, including a good bit of free content. Ralph, how do they do it?
Well, number one, I'm very upset at you, Mr. Longshore. for you to be on air and not having my Wager Talk Super Bowl guide in front of you, which shows you safety results for the last 16 years.
Yes.
You will see that there has not been a safety for 9 years, but for a three-game stretch there, about 10 years ago, 3 straight games had safeties. So all of a sudden, those odds were like 20-1. They came down to 10-1. Now we're getting them back finally where they should be again because there had been no safeties. But you know what? Check out the Super Bowl odd, wt.buzz/RM. And
it's 100% free.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
I'm looking at it.
And I'm just going to share what I bet so far real quick.
Okay, sure.
That parlay, Seattle money line, under 53.5. That's about -110. That's a parlay. Okay. I bet shortest touchdown under 1.5. I bet Seattle on the money line for the first quarter. I bet the second half will be more scoring than the first half. That's one of my favorite bets. That happens traditionally. We talked about the Super Bowl and no scoring in the first 6.5 minutes. If you don't want to bet that, this is a great another way to try to get value with almost the same play. Because if no one's going to score 6.5 minutes, the odds are the second half is going to be likely. And then I did bet a couple Drake May props. Even though I'm on Seattle, the reason I'm betting these is because if I think Seattle's defense is going to do what I do, then Drake May is going to have to get out of the pocket, something he hasn't had to do very often. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get there, but Drake May, longest rush over 13.5, that's like -110. I do think Drake May will throw an interception. You can get him if he goes over a half, that's -139, and Drake May attempts over 6.5. I haven't gotten to all of those, but there's some combination there where I'm going to combine them, but they're all in the same situation. So make sure, obviously there's some props like, the coin toss or how long the national anthem is, but the rest of my props are basically based on how I think the game will play out. So you don't want to put them all on one side. You don't want to take all your props and bet them on Seattle or against New England. So you mishmash them to get both sides where you can at least break even if you're totally wrong about the game. But again, it's still a thought process you put into it when you're picking out those props you want to bet.
There's always a thought process involved. Ralph Michaels, again, that Wager Talk Super Bowl prop guide, 100% free at wagertalk.com. How do people, I know there's a shortcut and there's plenty of other items there as well. How do they get to it?
Again, if you just go to Wager Talk, you can go to the handicappers page and go to Ralph Michaels, or the shortcut is WT for wagertalk.buzz/RM for my initials. And that gets you right to my homepage to check out all my free plays and download the free Super Bowl Wager Talk guide.
Awesome. Love it. Always a lot of info. Ralph, I guess next week we'll be talking some basketball.
Love it. Let's go.
There we go.
Sounds good. See you then. Thank you, buddy.
It's Ralph
Man,
Michaels.
what about that? Wow.
How about this? He mentioned this already. If you play no score in the first 6 minutes as a prop bet.
Okay.
That's 8 of the last 9 Super Bowls that has hit.
Wow.
I didn't realize that teams have habitually gotten off to such slow-ish starts in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's great info. Man, we really appreciate it. Good stuff. We're here live at Stivers Ford, where Price sells cars in Montgomery. The Start the Year Off Savings Sales event is still ongoing. We're just on the 6th day of February, so you still have a lot of opportunity to come out and see what they have here in Montgomery at Stivers Ford, or check them out at stiversonline.com, where you can shop online for your new Stivers vehicle. And a lot going on here, so come by either and see them in person or check it out online at stiversonline.com.
It's one of the great things about this program is you can watch it on the loop. There's people who watch it 2-3 times a day.
Well, all that info that Ralph just threw out there, Barry, you might want to have to go back and rewatch, because that was a lot of info. I'm trying to jot it down.
As a matter of fact, our buddy Ty, he was watching for the Phantom.
Yeah.
And he says, what's the line on the Auburn game? I missed the audio. And even Chris the Bammer says, hey, I missed it too, Ty.
1.5 is what we saw last. 176 is the total, 176.5. The line is Auburn laying 1.5. I'm going to get you that. See if there's been any updates here, Barry, because these things get updated. I mean, I'll tell
especially after the Phantom.
Yeah, I'm going to go here.
It
won't. I can't do that because that probably won't be up until tomorrow. But I can go here, and you pointed this out, because not every game has a
line
spread
on
it yet.
Yeah,
but they will tomorrow. I can promise you that. But as of right now, Auburn 1.5. Laying 1.5, total 176.5. That's from DraftKings, by the way. If you're interested in which outlet, because they all have different numbers. You got to shop around a little bit.
There you go.
What was it? Wasn't that a song?
Smokey Robinson
Mama
and the
said
Miracles.
You got to shop around.
Yeah,
exactly.
When we come back,
it's
the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. Longshore and McKnight are on location in the showroom at Stivers Ford Lincoln, Eastern Boulevard of the Troy Highway. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Montgomery Regional Airport is getting better the more you use it. MGM offers multiple nonstop daily flights to Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Washington's Reagan National Airport via Delta and American Airlines. And beginning this April, MGM will offer daily nonstop flights to Houston's Intercontinental Airport via United Airlines. All of these cities offer easy connections to destinations all over the country and all over the world. Make travel more cost-effective and less stressful when you utilize your Montgomery Regional Airport. MGM, you can get there from here. Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
Love is in the air, and so is your chance to win during Victoryland Casino's BMW and 25K giveaway. Drive away in a brand new BMW or win your share of $25,000 in free play. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Stop by the Players Club and fall in love with this month's exciting free play promotions. There's more ways to win at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Located off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings February 27th and 28th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
25 grand. That's pretty impressive there, Barry, for my friends out at Victoryland. Heck yeah, who couldn't? Man, 25 G's from Victoryland. It's the big giveaway promotion this February. So make sure you head out to Victoryland. The more you visit, the better your chances of winning.
You may not have noticed this, but this is a quick live ad, a quick bonus here for Gorilla Tape.
Yeah.
It lasted about an hour and 15 minutes on here, and then it came out.
You know, this is live. And
Why not?
why not?
Go ahead and throw it back up there.
You know, Barry, I'm going to call this company and say, hey, I got something Gorilla Tape will not hold for a long period of time.
Well, yes,
But
it may be operator error.
yeah, it could
too,
be.
who
Well, the
knows?
sun's shining on it. It's kind of getting it hot.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, then we got the glare on it there.
Well,
but-
just like Gurn Jr.'s getting
Yeah.
the Victoryland
Do it.
777 topic wheel hot. It is warmed up. It is lubricated. It is ready to go. Brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino. Exit 22, I-85 in Shorter, Alabama. And our first topic, of which we have no idea, is called Titan's Nightmare.
Huh.
Oh, these guys, the coach of the year in the NFL, again, the announcements were made
Yep,
yesterday.
yep.
Mike Vrabel, NFL coach of the year, former head coach of the Tennessee Titans.
Correct.
Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator for Mike Vrabel and the Patriots, also,
Tough.
with the Tennessee Titans.
You know, when they get into their new dome facility, Barry, I suggest they also have a complete uniform revamp. I've never liked the Titans.
I haven't either.
uniforms.
I like the old Oilers uniforms with
Yeah.
the derrick on the side and everything. They're too busy.
Shouldn't they have like some country music logo or something? I mean, that's what Nashville's
Nobody really
known
knows
for.
what a Titan
Yeah,
is.
so
anyway.
let's go with a uniform revamp.
So, I mean, there's probably college programs. I don't think Auburn, that's kind of famous for firing coaches and they turn up great somewhere else. Mario Cristobal got fired at FIU, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, tough.
Didn't really hurt him that much. Back to it. Here
Yeah,
on
let's
the
do it. Let's spin
topic
away
wheel.
and see what comes up next on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Well, you can be a winner too.
Yes. Well, they got that big February promotion.
You better believe it. The yellow panel.
I am glad to see Crotchgate is on there because I wanted to talk about that. Makes me sick.
Let's see what this is about.
Robert Spillane.
Not related to Mickey, is he?
Very nice.
Yeah, how about that?
Very nice. Patriots linebacker Robert Spillane, very good player. Tom Brady, you know, he's a minority owner of the Raiders. He also, big time conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Does football on Fox. Brady said this week who he's pulling for. You know, he was asked on a podcast, hey,
Yeah.
who are you pulling for? He says, I don't have a dog in the fight in the matchup between the Patriots and the Seahawks. And Spillane, who's a linebacker for the Patriots, says, you're the greatest Patriot of them all.
Yeah.
You don't have a dog in the fight?
Huh.
The reason why Brady said that is because he is an owner of another franchise.
And he retired as a Buccaneer. Just saying.
So they're like, all right, you're the greatest Patriot ever. And you don't care that the Patriots win because you're the current franchise of which you have some money in. That's a humiliating kick in the crotch to all the Patriot fans.
Yeah, it
out
is.
there. That's
Tough
all right,
stuff.
we got to
there.
catch up a little
let's
bit.
go. Wow, here we go. 4 to go, 3 minutes. I think we can get it done.
I got
Spin
to get
away.
back.
Let's see what we got.
All right.
Green, red, yellow, blue. Love the colors. Getting started. It's like that first step. You got to take that first step to get started.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Milano Cortino, that's in the Italian Alps. They get started today.
Really? Wow.
At 1 o'clock. The actual stuff is kind of started. The Winter Olympics with the Parade of Nations, Mariah Carey. Not Sabrina Impacciatore.
Who?
I don't know.
That raunchy chick
she's
from
from
the
White
Barrio?
Lotus. It actually began yesterday with all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Alpine skiing. Men's big air snowboard. No clue what that is, Gurn, but man, I'm all for
I
it.
think the longer you're in the air, they time you for
John
how
and
much air
I-
you can get.
John and I wonder about the skeleton competition, which is basically two guys spooning on a cafeteria tray.
Yeah. You know, Barry,
Down the,
I hit a mogul coming down a mountain snow skiing, and I got some big air. Problem is, I had a yard sale when I hit the ground. Skis everywhere.
Oh.
Gloves all over the place.
Yeah, I heard you got some
Tough.
big air whenever you got out of
Oof.
Hong Kong King Buffet
Yeah,
number 2
whoa.
that time with D. Jackson.
We had to roll the windows down. You
Woo.
kidding me?
All right, 3
All
more
right,
to
spin
go.
away.
Here we go. We're in the lightning round.
Lightning
here.
round. Let's get it going.
I want to get to Crotchgate because that's an incredible story.
Oh, yeah.
He's human. Somebody did something that.
All right,
he's human. What is this? Well, he's human.
Okay. Yeah. See,
Scheffler, he
you.
was such an unbelievably huge favorite in this Waste Management Open. I mean, it's like the biggest.
Yeah,
mad at himself.
I've done that before. Yeah,
been
Scotty,
there,
I know
Scotty. Been there.
Should have punted that, Scotty.
Same move.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was such a prohibitive favorite in this thing.
Yep.
And now he might not make the cut.
That's one of the most
that
difficult.
was on 18.
Yeah, that's one of the most difficult shots in golf, in my opinion. That little chip shot there when it's cut tight. Woo.
Yeah.
Woo, that's tough.
You gotta get some brakes on it once it gets near. He's human. Okay, Scotty is a mortal human being.
And my buddy that's going out there to the Phoenix Open's bummed out because he's going, wait a minute, I'm coming out here and Scotty's not even playing.
How bad do you want to win?
Yeah.
In the Olympics in men's ski jumping, there is a major controversy. They are, you can't wear big old baggy things where you can just where it catches air like a flying squirrel going down. Okay. It's got to be tight.
Yeah.
The crotch area for men. I got to be careful here.
Okay.
Norway, they have sewn in some really, really tight, impenetrable fabric to tuck your private parts back and keep them back. To make it more aerodynamic. They've even gone so far as allegations that male ski jumpers have injected their junk with hyaluronic acid, which you can use on your face to fly farther. How bad do you want to win? Boys, I'm here to tell you, John and I pick winners. We talk sports all the time, and we like to win. We're competitive. But if you have got to inject your private parts with anything, I ain't interested in winning. Boys, I am out.
Wow.
Good luck with it. I'm going to be watching this one from the side.
I'm picking a new sport, Mary.
Yep, I'm going somewhere else. All right, one more.
One more. Got to spin it to make it official.
How
It says
bad do you wanna win?
MVP.
I'd say, the gold medal. I don't care.
I'm not with you. I'm with you. I don't want that.
MVP?
Yep.
What do we got?
Matthew Stafford.
Oh, yeah.
This could be his last year.
That's the AP. He beats out Drake May, the closest MVP vote since 2003. Yeah, he is old. He says he'll return for 2026.
Okay. All right.
But they had the NFL honors in San Francisco. They have all that stuff in that same conference room where they have the Pro Bowl games and all that to kind of keep it all together. So congratulations, Matthew Stafford, former Georgia Bulldog.
That's right.
I called a game with him one time when he was at Georgia, and they beat Troy bad that year.
Well, we're trying to forget about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget about Stivers
That's
Ford
right.
Lincoln, Eastern Boulevard and the Troy Highway when you're obsessing tomorrow over the Iron Bowl on the hardwood and on the Super Bowl on Sunday, because you have a great opportunity this weekend to make the deal on the car of your dreams.
That's right. Or go to stiversonline.com and browse their entire inventory. You can even purchase a car that way as well. All right, big weekend, Super Bowl, SEC basketball, Alabama at Auburn. We're going to recap it all on Monday.
Yes, looking forward to that for all of our guests. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, Wager Talks, Ralph Michaels, producer Gurn Jr., and John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.